Hi guys, how have you all been? It's been a really long time since I've been on here. If you guys don't know, I'm Grace Zema, an Australian YouTuber, and I really wanted to come on here again after about 12 months of not making any videos and restart. I just completed my VCE in Scenery Secondary College, and I wanted to kind of share my experience with you guys and give advice to those who are just entering Year 12 next year or have just finished and just want to hear another side of a student that completed it and wanted to see their point of view. For those of you that don't know what VCE is, it's the Victorian Certificate of Education, which is kind of your Year 11 and your Year 12 in Australia, and that's like your senior college and all that kind of stuff in America. I'm not too sure about the terminology, but it's your senior year for those that don't understand or don't know. So basically, all I can say or start off with is that for me, completing Year 12 was very different compared to completing Year 11. Year 11 was challenging and I put so much effort into it, and you do put in that effort to study and complete your exams. But it's so different to Year 12 for me that I wasn't expecting it. So I guess everyone knows that Year 12 is the hardest year of your schooling. You get your sister and you get your mum and your dad who completed high school, and they always tell you Year 12 is going to be the hardest year. So you already know that, alright, Year 12 is going to be hard and all that kind of stuff. You already have the basis of, I really got to work my butt off. That's basically what it's telling you. And even though I went in knowing that, nothing actually prepared me for the year that I just experienced, because the amount of work and the amount of effort and the content of stuff that you need to know for every SAC, for every test, every exam that you had to put in this year, it was challenging and one hell of an emotional roller coaster for me personally. I'm a stress head and I have anxiety, and that for me, it was hard for me to decide actually if I wanted to do VCE or if I wanted to go in and do VCAL, which is kind of like the trade. It's not really exams or not really school. It's more for people that are pursuing to a trade, or for women that want to do beauty services or community services, anything like that. And so nothing really prepared me for that side of it. And I was talking to my best friend about this the other day, and she reckons that Year 11 was more of an emotional roller coaster for her. For me, Year 12 was definitely the emotional roller coaster, because I think I cried a lot this year because you want to try so hard and you want to put in so much effort, and when you try and put in that effort and you get your mark back from a SAC or from a test and it's not what you're expecting, or you fail, it kind of takes your self-esteem from here and drops it all the way down. And that's what I struggled with a lot, because entering Year 12, I had this persona that I needed to get an amazing ATAR or an amazing end-of-year score for Year 12 to be able to get into my dream university, or to be able to get into any university that needed that score. So every time I failed a SAC or failed a test, straight away my thought process was, oh my god, I'm never going to be able to become a music manager. I'm never going to be able to manage artists, work at a record label, be a tour manager, all that kind of stuff. That was my thing, and I was like, I'm a failure. Just because I failed one SAC, that's literally what I thought straight away. But as you progress throughout the whole year, you start in February or March, next thing you know, it's already August, and like it flies completely. So as the time and the months kept going past, you start off, like for me, I know I started off Year 12 with a lot of motivation and determination, and like, yep, on the ball, complete homework, complete SACs, get it all done, study every night, blah blah blah. So it went from February to probably say like July, August. The motivation starts to go from like that, and it starts to really cave in, because you get tired of all this work you have to do every single day. Weekends you have to work, come home, study, because you're going to SAC the next day. Like, it was very hard because you try to keep that motivation and you really try and be motivated to complete homework because it's tiring. All your family are out enjoying the day, the beautiful sun, and you are here completing your homework. And it kind of sucks because you're starting year 12 and that's like a whole new beginning and the start of something else, but you're at the end of your schooling. So like as you're getting closer to the end of it, your motivation is slowly dropping because you think, I'm almost done. Like I am almost done. So that's why you kind of get a bit, and I could be wrong. Every person, every individual who completed year 12 is different. So some people could use that motivation of you're almost done and work so hard to the very end so that now you're like, woo! That can be one person. But for me personally, I can say that that motivation was slowly dropping and dropping because at the start of the year, I was so motivated to do so much stuff and I was like, yep, on the ball. And yeah, so that's pretty much what happened with me because I wanted to keep the motivation to complete stuff, but it was hard and it always will be hard because for those that are about to enter year 12, the most thing I can say to you is be focused and be concentrated and do not let little things distract you or let little dramas that you may be experiencing, whether that's with family or with friends, please try your hardest to just not let it bother you. Because if you let your personal life get in between your school, your results are going to suffer. And that's just how I believe. And to some extent, I have had my own experiences with this. This year I also was completing my year 12, but I also got a boyfriend. So having a love interest and completing year 12, not exactly the smartest thing. Because I went into year 12 saying to my best friend and all my friends, I'm like, I'm not getting a boyfriend. I'm not talking to anyone. This is just year 12. I'm going to focus. That's all. Kind of went down the drain after I met this person, but that's okay. So, yeah, I met this person in April. And that was pretty much the start of the year, and now it's November, and yeah. But I was able to manage my way through, trying to keep as focused as I can. And, you know, if you're in that situation where you do have a significant other and you're not sure if they can handle, you know, not being able to see you for however long you need, you know, because sometimes you have to, unfortunately, make sacrifices throughout this year to be able to get through and get what you want and get where you want to go with year 12, not with your career, but in terms of your curriculum and stuff like that. So for me, yeah, that was the challenge, and I kind of felt like it was hard to maintain those scores because at the start of the year, like I said, you're determined and then you slowly develop not much motivation anymore. That's the only way I can really explain it. It's kind of crazy. This year, honestly, like, it was the hardest, emotional, yet best year of my life because you have to be one of those people that are determined and are willing to do the study that they're asking you to do. You can't go into a test or into a SAC and don't even think about going into the end of your exam without studying. I think that's actual social suicide. If you go into that exam with not studying, like, you might as well just walk out. Sorry, VCAR. Not doing it at all. If you don't know what VCAR is VCAR is like the head of VCE and they assess all SACs. Well, not all SACs. The teachers assess all the SACs, but the end of your exam is what they assess. So they assess the end of your exam and that they put that on like an average and work out throughout all of Victoria. So basically, you're against all of Victoria and all of Victoria become your competition essentially, and yeah, your friends become your competition, your peers around you become your competition, the whole of Victoria, completing year 12 becomes your competition. That's the hardest bit. The hardest yet challenging thing ever, and because your friends can get amazing marks and you could be the one that's kind of falling behind. that was kind of me this year. A lot of my friends were getting great marks for subjects that I was with them in and subjects that I didn't do, but they were still getting amazing marks. And you can't help but feel a little jealous, and I am guilty of jealousy for not just school but everything. So you kind of have to not compare yourself to others. That's one thing that I do a lot, and a lot that I did this year too was compare myself. You can't think that you're not smarter than that person, or, that person got this and how come you can't get it. You just kind of have to be your own person, because God made you individually. God made you for who you are, and doesn't mean that you're smarter than another person or dumber than another person. You are who you are, and you can try your hardest to get what you want. As long as you know in yourself that you put in the effort, you tried your hardest, and you did whatever you could to get that, there's no harm in feeling good about that. And there's no need for you to worry about comparing yourself to others or wondering what they're going to think or anything like that. Because I can say that it's just not worth it. And it's not worth putting yourself through the anxiety and the stress and the worry about not being able to get through it. I'm probably repeating myself over and over, only because it's the advice I gave myself during this whole year to be able to get through it. And I'm done now. I've done all my exams, I've graduated, I've got my formal actually on Thursday, so that's happening. And after that formal, it's going to be the last time all the Year 12s are in the room together. So it's kind of emotional, and it's kind of sad, and But, you have to walk out of Year 12 feeling accomplished and feeling knowledgeable at the same time and mature, and you have to walk out of there feeling like you've done the best you can and that you do not have any regrets. It's the worst thing you could probably have. I thought I was going to walk out of there with regrets after completing my exams, because I kept thinking, maybe I didn't put enough study in as everyone else. I don't know what I've done. What should I have done more? But then I completed my exam, and you surprise yourself with how much you know after you've studied. And I can generally say right now, sitting here, that I'm proud of what I've done. I don't regret anything. And I walked out of every exam feeling good, feeling positive. So when I get my results in January, I'm hoping that that works in my favour and that all that hard time pays off. And some people aren't going to get the scores that they want, and some people are going to be disappointed. And you can't look at it like that. And because at the end of the day, the scores that you've got, you can't change it. And you can't change what's already been done, what's already been done, and what's going to happen, because it's just going to happen. And so my advice to the Year 11s who are entering Year 12 next year is exactly what I've told you. Just to go in there with positivity, but don't let yourself be beaten down if it's not what you expect, and if you don't get the marks that you want or the scores that you want or anything like that. Use those losses or those failures as a way to push yourself up and to use it to make yourself better, so that when you have your next SAC or your next exam or test, you know that you've walked out of there with your head held high. Keep your head held high. Bit of a tongue twister. Good luck to the 2016 Year 12 graduates. I hope that you guys kill it, smash it, don't stress, get it done. Trust me, just get it done, and you'll be done, and it's fine. You're strong enough to do anything you set your mind to. You're able to do anything that you want. You might not think it, and it may be hard to believe it, but believe in yourself. Just push through and believe that you can do anything you set your mind to. But you'll look back on it and you'll think to yourself, I'm proud that I did it. And I am feeling that way right now. So, So I hope it prepared you a little bit, and I hope that you got a bit of an insight into my year experiencing, and I hope that you guys have one hell of a great 2016. And I hope you sneeze. Good luck. Bye.